Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So if everybody's had an opportunity to review the minutes, can I get a motion to accept the minutes as distributed?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. So now we're going to have a public hearing to amend local law, chapter 129, entitled Vehicle and Traffic of the Town of Lysander. So may I have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll move it. I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so is there anyone in the audience that wants to speak for or against the proposed local law?
It's a Partridge, Mary? Is it
Partridge, yes. Yeah.
Fred Birch, 8865 Plainville Road. Very, very familiar with that road. Many accounts on that road I had for landscaping. And I understand what they're doing. This is something that other roads in Radisson have pretty much done in the past, and this is just an extension of that.
Yes.
Okay. My question would be, and I know these guys are organized and they have the big yard sales. What about for, say, maybe the smaller developed community yard sales in the future? Would it, if say something like a Chaucer Circle or something that, you know, it's got an opening and close, if they wanted to have is that something they'd be able to approach the board to have it just a temporary if they had it during the same time each year, or is that?
Well, the reason that we're doing this is it's because the roads get so congested that fire and police cannot get down the roads. That's what this is for.
Probably because people were parking on both sides.
That's
right,
correct.
right.
So
Okay.
that's why we're amending this. So you got to be able to get the police and fire down there, and they can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
by doing this, it allows the sheriff's department or state troopers to write tickets.
absolutely.
To get people to park on the
I
bigger
agree
roads.
with that. I'm just trying to get a better understanding with it, and I agree with that. I notice, you know, maybe not in the summer, but we also, you know, have a similar type of issue on frontage when we have the illegal, what I would refer to as the ill-advised parking of the independent bud drivers. I know there's signage there, and they don't pay attention to it, and that doesn't allow the services and the plowing of the road and stuff. So I'm in favor of that. I just wanted to get a little bit better understanding of it. Thank you.
Is there anybody else? No? Okay, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is now closed. So citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens that have any comments regarding the agenda items this evening?
Birch, Plainville Road. A couple items, just I'm glad to see that the board is revisiting the proposed Mills Road Water District. I just think it's the best approach to have. It's a small district, and I think the opportunity for these people to decide their future when there's probably 20 or 30 people who are going to participate is the best option, as opposed to, you know, maybe a 5-person board that hasn't had maybe the opportunity to get down there and meet with them and take a better look at it. So I appreciate you doing that. And rescinding the resolution is in my opinion, the proper format to take, and a mandatory resolution, in my opinion, would be better. I have no problem writing a permissive. And I offered to help them, and I did exchange numbers, and we did talk on the phone, and I know there's maybe a false narrative that I was trying to argue with these people, but I can promise you that I was trying to help them, and I did help them. In my opinion, I don't think we would have gone to a mandatory referendum without first offering the permissive referendum. That, I'd like to say something about PAC-B a little bit. You know, the first thing is I want to say I appreciate these people coming out and doing this. It provides a tremendous service for our community, for people who don't have the time to get out to the meetings but still want to keep abreast of the direction that our town's going in. Just a few notes.
Well, we want to stick to the agenda items.
Okay, and PAC-B is on the agenda or no? Okay, I thought that was on the work session there. Okay, and all right, then I appreciate that. And the Mills Road is on the agenda for the rescinding of that, correct? Okay, and now listen, I did in earnest try to help the people who live in that district, and outside I met with them and I exchanged my number with them. And I informed them that, you know, they might want to stick around for a little while because I thought that the board was going to go ahead with a vote in a few minutes. They said they appreciated me informing about that, but they were a little bit, you know, pissed off and thought that maybe members of the board were a little bit arrogant. And so they decided, although they wanted to stay for the whole meeting, they decided, you know, to get up and leave. But I just want the public to know and the board members to know that I was helping these people, and I'm pretty sure they'll say
Well, you
that
gotta
I did help them.
keep addressing it up here.
Okay, I'm sure they'll admit that I was helping them, so thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Anyone? Yes, sir.
My name is Doug Chantel, 8051 Mills Road. I'm kind of curious, if they're going for a grant, where is this grant coming from? And if it's coming from New York State, how do you guys get around following New York State law? Because any public road, private right-of-way, easement way, any improvements done to it, you guys are supposed to be taking the road over. Not just putting in the water and saying, there you go.
Okay. That's another issue. If we have our attorney here, once the meeting's over, if you want to discuss legal issues with that, I can assure you that we've been over this numerous times to make sure that we're doing it properly. But that's another issue. You can ask the town attorney. He'll explain to you how that works.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Yes. I don't want to call you ma'am in effect.
Madison Snow, 8092 Mills Road. I don't know if this is the right time to ask this question, but I know that you said it'll likely go to a vote, or it is going to a vote, and that it's based on who's on the deed. My maiden name is on the deed.
Mm-hmm.
How will that impact, like, what identification do I have to bring?
If you would give your name to Ms. Falcone, she'll document that and go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, no, it'll get changed. The vote is not going to take place for at least another 3 months.
Okay,
So you got plenty of time, just call the town clerk and
okay, and
tell,
explain that.
we've got the list of all the owners, and just, you can tell her, this is my address and this is the correct name.
Okay,
It'll be fine.
thank you.
Anyone else this evening? Okay. Town board comments. We'll start with you tonight, Mr. Rowe.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Unfortunately, winter started to show up at the end of February and beginning of March instead of like it should have. So hopefully we get through these next few weeks and onward to spring. Other than that, thanks for coming, and stick to the agenda.
I just want to thank everyone for coming out, the Mills Road people. You know, it's going to be your decision ultimately, whether or not you want water or not. We're just doing what we have to do as far as, you know, getting that prepared for you guys. and lady decide whether or not you want water. But ultimately, the decision's up to you, not us. So, you know, obviously you'll find out when the vote is. There'll be a public hearing, so make sure, and you'll have more information then than you do now as far as the actual cost as well too. And that's over 30 years, not, you know, one-time fee as well too. So keep that in mind. But you'll get all that information. So just think of this as a pre-game episode right now that you went through. Then post-game, you'll have all the information. But other than that, I'll stick to the agenda.
I'd just like to reiterate what my fellow councilors have said. It's good to see everybody out. It's nice to see people in these chairs. It's really nice getting feedback from the community. And really, as far as the water district goes, it really is up to the residents. So, you know, I know not everybody's going to be pleased because some are going to want it, some aren't going to want it. I get it, but it really is up to the residents to make that decision. So, thanks again for coming out. Winter's almost over. We got a little hump to get over, I think, this weekend, but we're almost there. So, thank you.
As far as, we have more information, I'm gonna, during the discussion period on the resolution on Mills Road, I'm gonna have Mr. Rivzigno go over what he went over in the work session, so he has a lot more information for anybody that's interested in Mills Road. Also, Katie Palladino, she's the president of the Belgium Cold Springs Fire Department. She came in last week and met with Ms. Falcone and I, and asked us if we would be willing to, we'd be willing to let the fire departments use the town hall for recruitment, and that's including a number of fire departments, and we said absolutely, we think that's a great idea, and I'll let Ms. Falcone fill you in on the rest of the information.
Sure. So Ms. Palladino came in. She's the president of Belgium Cold Springs Fire District. And April 22nd, that weekend, is, according to the Firefighters Association of New York, recruitment day across New York State. So they asked if we could put something together for them where we could have all of our local fire departments come, bring a truck. We'll have some food trucks. It's going to be here at Town Hall, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have, hopefully we'll have great weather for that day, but it's an opportunity for recruitment because we really need more people to volunteer in our fire departments. So far we have 6 fire departments that have committed to coming here for that day. So stay tuned for some items that will be in the paper and on Facebook and our website. So that's happening April 22nd.
Okay. And we're going to have, there's going to be, not we, but there are going to be food trucks here as well, so they're going to try and make it, you know, a nice event for anybody that's interested. And hopefully some of the younger people in the community will show up to see what the fire departments have to offer. And there are, moving forward, you know, most towns, the county, and including our town, we passed some resolutions that will help and give a financial benefit to being a volunteer. And although people don't do it for that, you know, I mean, that's a nice benefit for especially younger people that are spending a lot of time. When you're talking about 200 hours of training initially, that's a lot of time to dedicate. And I know that the state legislature is proposing other legislation that will benefit volunteer firefighters moving forward as well. Okay. Department head reports. So Mr. Rivzigno, we'll start with you, and if you want to go into the
Yeah, I can do that.
Mills Road right now, that'd be good.
With the, after the last meeting, the Mills Road folks were here, we looked at the documents that we had. Part of the process is a requirement that all of this gets submitted to the State of New York Department of Audit Control. I was concerned that the petitions that had been circulated were not sufficient for them. And bottom line is, I suggested to the supervisor that we just cancel everything, rescind it, and start over again, which is what we're doing. But we're going to proceed under what's called Article 12A, which provides for permissive referendum, which we are converting to a mandatory referendum. Nobody in the district needs to take a petition around. It's going to be an automatic vote. Everybody will get the opportunity to vote, and the vote will take place between 90 and 105 days from the time that we adopt the resolution, which will most likely be maybe the second meeting in April, possibly the first meeting in May, but most likely the second meeting in April. We were going to go back, after we rescind the motion tonight, we're going to have the engineer prepare another map planning report, basically the same information that you had, but it'll be brought up to date, and we'll proceed from there as though it never happened yet. So the bottom line is you're going to have an opportunity to vote, and if the majority of the people want the district, it will go through. If the majority doesn't want it, it will not go through.
Okay, my other issues are the way the
Well,
road gets
hold
plowed.
on.
I'm gonna address your issues with this
Yeah.
real quick. Can you talk about and also explain to them about if you're a corporation, if you're a trust, and also the property value as well too? You know, because it's like a weighted vote as well.
Right. When the vote takes place, it has to be majority of the owners owning a majority of the property. So, for example, if you have a trust that owns several pieces, the trust only gets one vote. It's not the number of people. And if there are two people that own a property, they each get a vote. But it depends on the assessed value of the property. So that's all determined after the vote takes place. They have to find out whether there's sufficient amount. That's why it goes to the Department of Audit Control, to show them that the right people voted one way or the other, for or against it.
Right, but my next
Well,
concern is...
hold on now. It's not a public hearing, so he's explaining to you what the information is, but it's not question and answer. If you have questions afterwards, we will hang around afterwards and we'll answer your questions.
Yeah, I'll be happy to sit with you after the meeting and go over it. The meeting's going to be short anyway. So I'll talk to you about whatever questions you have.
We'll stick around afterwards and answer your questions. So,
That's all.
okay. Mr. Matthews, nothing?
Yeah, I'd like to let the people know on Hayes Road and the board as well that I did finally connect with Chris Leak of the county. He is going to get a hold of me Monday, and possibly we're going to go down that road hopefully Wednesday. One of the things I wanted to make known to the board is that those signs, he said, can be no further away than 200 feet. So
Further away from what?
each other.
Oh, okay.
So I believe the resolution was for the entire North Hayes Road. We may have to just look at where we're actually going to put them, because it's going to be a lot of signs.
Yeah, we just did it just to blanket
Right.
the whole road, but as far as the sign placement, I thought it was.
I think it was, when we did it, we did the whole road where needed. I think that's,
I think it was subject to where
Yeah.
the county assembly could put it.
Yeah.
right, where the county.
Okay.
So you're gonna
It doesn't
go to
have to be the whole
yeah.
road.
It'll be up to him to, whether it's by
Yeah.
Perryville or closer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a section down around the corner past where the marina is, on the corner. There
Yes.
were signs there before, I'm sure, when I looked, people expressed that they would want the signs there, and I think that's a good spot, but we don't have to do the whole road.
Okay.
And I spoke with the residents last week, and I assured them that before summertime, that those would be up, right?
We're on track, yes.
Okay.
So by April 15th, they'll
As
be up.
long as the white paint doesn't get confused with snow, I'll be able to get it okay.
Okay, great,
That's all.
all right. Mr. Yeager, nothing?
I'm all set.
All set, okay, very good. Move on to the regular agenda items. We have a motion to adopt the local law number 4, amending chapter 129 of the VTL relative to parking regulations with the addition of Partridge Berry Drive, in which parking shall be prohibited on the Friday and Saturday immediately preceding Mother's Day each year from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the side of the street as posted.
I'll move it. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to rescind resolution number 45 of 2023 regarding the formation of the proposed Mills Road Water District?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to just reiterate, Mr. Rivazigno didn't go over this portion, but once that's sent to, even if it passes and it's sent to audit and control, they could say that, no, we're not going to allow it because the cost is too high. So right now, the cost is $1,411 per year. The average cost is what they use is, I think, around $1,065 or something like that. So it's actually about $350 over what the average is. So even if everybody wanted it, even if it passed, they could still supersede all of that and say, no, you can't move forward with it because it's too expensive. So I just wanted to get that out as well. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to authorize CHA to revise the math plan and report to reflect the process under Article 12A of Town Law?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to accept the resignation of David Stenzi as Recreation Leader in the Parks and Recreation Department?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Nothing. Did a nice job, but he's now living in Utah.
Well, he's going to be.
Gonna be living.
Gonna be.
Okay, good for him.
That's tough. It's a little too far to travel every day.
Okay.
You've already posted, I see it on the website. So we're signing, find some.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Okay, I don't think there's any reason for an executive session tonight. I have a motion to adjourn at 6:52.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
So the month,